Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. I don't want to get started until we have some people get in here. I also want to make sure that my mic is working. So if you are here, please feel free to let me know. We've had a few tech issues every time there's an update, and I know there was an update on one software but not the other, and I just want to make sure that the one didn't affect the other. So let me know. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me. Today, if you're new, guys, I'm Jen. Welcome to Jenetics Creations. I teach a live class every Thursday, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and it's dedicated to you guys. I had many people reach out to me and tell me that they wish they knew how to crochet. Yes, Adelina, thank you so much. You ready to make your pig? You ready to make your pig? I had a lot of people tell me over the years that I wish I could crochet, I wish I could, I wish I could. And my whole solution to that is, why can't you? And so I started doing local classes in a park nearby. But with COVID and a bunch of other things that was going on, it was easier just to start recording them, and thus the YouTube channel was born. So I'm here every Thursday, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I take requests-ish, so if there's things that you guys are like really looking to learn to make, let me know. I know many of these projects were inspired by you all. We also have a Discord, so if you are someone that likes to get into those other platforms, it's a really good way to collaborate with other stitchers. I'm going to adjust this camera just a little bit. It's also a really good way to just always have, more stitching friends behind the scenes. When we're not live during class or on TikTok, we are in the cord and we're all helping each other out. So before I jump into too much, what are you guys gonna need? You think you finally figured it out? I think I approved you. Yeah, because you were the one that I approved just before I started class. So yes. Diva, hello, welcome. How are you? It's good to see you guys. We're gonna be learning the pig. You don't need a whole lot. So what you will need, I'm using this yarn, but you could probably get away with something even less. Like, you don't need a whole lot of yarn. Like, even this is going to be more than you need. Here, this is probably still more than you would need. So any scrap yarn will do. This is for weight, so this is going to be a basic acrylic. I actually really want to make another one of this, but I'm waiting because it doesn't show on the camera as well. So we're going to stick with this blue because I know it'll be easy for you guys to see the stitches. I am going to use, but it's not required, I'm going to be using an eye hook, also a 9 or a 5.5 millimeter. So any of those will do. If you don't have that, whatever's closest. Guys, it's not super picky. It's just going to adjust the size of your pig, but it's not going to prevent you from being able to do it. So grab your yarn, grab your hook. If you have safety eyes, grab those. I like to use the plain black ones for this pattern, just because I feel like these would look a little creepy. Which, by the way, this is our project of the week, so I likely will do a class in the near future on chameleon, but this one has the glitter eyes, but I don't know if that would look as good on the pig. So we're going to stick with the plain black ones. You'll need like one small strand of black yarn to make these little guys right here. But aside from that, please grab several stitch markers. So I actually use a lot of stitch markers on this one. Where did all my extra stitch markers go? There they are. If you don't have stitch markers, you guys, first off, I recommend you get them. They do just help from sanity purposes. But if you don't have any, paper clips work, safety pins work. Gosh, I am using a ton of my stitch markers at the moment, so we're just going to unhook all of these and get them all on deck. And perfect. As long as I have enough to do the 2 for, yes. Okay. So, what else? You can use a contrasting yarn. So if I was using this, I might use this strand and just cut a few small strands and you can loop those through. That can work as well. So use what you got. Use what you got. Let's see. We covered everything you're going to need. And polyfill. Not a whole lot, but you are going to need some stuffing. If you guys need to rob a stuffed animal or rob a pillow, I will not tell anybody. It is a great way to work with what you got and join in on the fun. So we'll set some of that aside. I might need a little bit more. And then let's pull up our pattern. Otherwise, a couple things that are new in the community. We just did our first waffle on TikTok. So if you're not on TikTok, you may want to be. And definitely follow me there, because not only do I teach here weekly, but I'm always live stitching, and we're working on, you know, fun coordinating community projects and stuff like that on that side of things. If you want to be a part of that, you can either get in the Discord. The link is pinned. It's in the chat. That will expire. If you guys are watching this after the fact, just comment, send me the link. It's easy for me to like generate a new link and send it to you. I don't know why every time I've done every part of what they tell me I need to make it a permanent link, it doesn't work. If you guys know how to do that, feel free to comment below and let me know. You're making a patriotic pig. You think it's funny, but I was trying to find yarn to do it, and I think I did. I think I found some, so I might be doing it as well. I want to see yours though, so tag me in it, Diva. Tag me in it. And again, save this link because after this live, everything will be available for replay. All of my classes are available for replay, which allows you guys to keep making this, again, a schedule that works for you, a class that works for you guys. And I try to definitely make sure if there's any comments or questions that you guys have along the way that I am as quick as I humanly can be in responding, because I am only one person. But that's another reason why the Discord works so well, because I have my moderators in there and I have a lot of other stitchers in there. People are bound to answer your question if I don't get to you. So again, I can't emphasize it enough. Get in it. It's fun. But hopefully that bought you guys enough time to grab your yarn and your stuff, your stitch markers, your hook, and we're going to get started. So who out there is stitching with me? I want to make sure I check in with you and I don't go faster than you. I have it's not a pattern that's available, so I don't have a link for it. I was able to kind of create a one-pager, so I am going to post this pattern at some point. But I still have to like finish fixing what's in my head. But who's stitching with me so I can... Okay, perfect. Grace, yes! Alright, well, at very least, let me know if someone else is, but I'll definitely make sure to check in on you. Are you ready to get started? Are you ready to get started? We are going to start with a magic ring. Yes! Diva, awesome! We're going to start with a magic ring, and 8 single crochets are going to go into that. So, to do a magic ring, I'm going to go as slow as I can, but yell at me if I go too fast. I'm here for you guys. Take your cut section, and you're wrapping this yarn around the back of your hand, and then you're going to go on this side. I'm going to do just 3 fingers because it's going to keep dropping it. Cross over and pin it down. I like to try to pin it down in a way that I can pin it down like this, but there you have it. Pin it down under the first one, over the top, and you're going to pull it through. Okay? This is a good time to carefully pull your fingers out, and I pull it tight a little bit. You don't have to go crazy. I just like to make it where it's easy to hold on to it. You stalk me, Jessica. I love it. While you're making relish, I love it. I love it. Just keep tapping that screen. I got you. But I like to tighten it a little bit so you can hold it. If you have a real loose magic circle, that's usually when it becomes difficult to stitch into. So make it like it's a stitch itself. Make it small-ish. And then you can work your 8 single crochets. But always chain 1 to start. That closes kind of that part of it. And then go back in and we're doing single crochet. So single crochet if you're new, and you don't know how to do that, insert your hook. Yarn over the hook, pull through 1, and then you should have 2 loops on the hook. You're going to yarn over the hook again, pull through 2, and you're going to do that 8 times into this same magic circle. So I will pick up the speed a little bit, but I want to keep going back if you guys need help with that. I know I've got several different levels of stitchers that join, everything from straight beginner to I just want to learn a new pattern. So if I need to slow down or re-demonstrate, please, I'm here for you. We leave no stitcher behind. That is the motto around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I worked this in a, did I slip stitch? Let me see. Each row, we are slip stitching. So, slip stitch, when it comes to a lot of patterns, it's real easy to accidentally, along the way, count it as a stitch. I don't know how I have managed to mess it up so many times. I think I have it figured out, and I don't. You're watching me eating a banana. Good heavens, Adelina. Oh, your comments are funny. Oh, and yes, I have the chat up. So if anyone has questions along the way, please use it. Please use it. I'm gonna do myself a favor and make this as brain dead as I can. I'm gonna mark the first and last stitch of every row as we go along. I'm not gonna worry about this one because we're gonna stitch into it right now. But go ahead and pull that magic circle tight, put a stitch marker in our last stitch that we made, and trust me, it'll make it, when you get to the next row, you'll see why I'm recommending you do this. And then we're going to start by slip stitching to the first stitch. So let's get my pointer so I can make sure you guys know where we're looking. If you have a question, remember we had 8 stitches, so 1, 2, we can count backwards, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, I would have probably gone into that one, but that tells me I need to go here. So that's how you can kind of fail-proof it, is count backwards those 8 stitches. And then you're going to know exactly what, this is always the tough one, but there you go. Now you know exactly where your hook should be. So go ahead and we're going to slip stitch by inserting the hook and pulling through all the loops together. But you see how it makes this look like it's a stitch, but it's not. We're going to be ignoring it throughout the entire process, but just to make sure, that's why we mark the last stitch. It just is a nice cheat, it'll help. Go ahead and chain 1, and then we're going to do row 2. So this we're going to be working in back loops only. You have your front loop. This is your back loop. You want to grab that one because we're trying to get the next row to lay that way, and that will help with that, and it'll help create that edge going around here. It's good for you guys to learn why we do the things, because then when you want to go rogue and you want to start like creating your own stuff, you now know how to create certain results with certain effects, like back loops, front loops, that can really open the doors. So the single crochet is going to be the same, but you're just grabbing that back loop. I'm going to crochet over this because it'll help me hide it throughout. But if that bugs you, you can always leave it back there. It's going to end up on the inside of your buddy anyway, so it definitely doesn't matter. Again, you're pulling up 1 and then 2. And you're going to do 1 stitch in each back loop all the way around. So you should end up with another 8 stitches. And I hope I'm going slow enough, but let me know when we get to that end of that row. Let me know you guys are ready for row 3. But you're just going to keep going, and you're going to notice it's going to start curling. That's good. You want it to curl backwards or away from you. Remember, amigurumi is always worked from the outside. Oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you guys to mark that first stitch. So, good news is you have that stitch marker. You know this is your last stitch. Oh, that was a crow fail right there. So we know this is our last stitch because we marked it as our last stitch. Remove it, stitch into it. Mark your last stitch again, and this time we will be better. We will be better. But if you look, I want you guys to kind of see why I was like, this will help you. Because it looks like I need to just still go into that stitch, and we don't want to. So that's why marking your last stitch and your first stitch, this will make sure that you guys don't mess up along the way. When you mess up with amigurumi, it's boo-boo. This, Adelina, this is a knot slayer, and if you guys want these, I recommend Karen, TSH Designs by Karen. Her link is in my link tree. If you go to the recommendations section, I believe it's the second link in that category. She's where I get all my crocessories, because they also have stuffy sticks and things like that that you can use to help pin your amigurumis together. When you are connecting different elements and you have to sew them, it can hold them for you. So it's a really good tool to have as you keep getting into amigurumi. So we would have had a stitch here. I did mess up, but here's how you can see. This is our slip stitch. This is our chain. So you want to go into this one right here. And that's going to be where we slip stitch this row. So slip stitch to the beginning. And chain 1 again. Okay, did I lose anyone? Back loops only, you guys got that okay? Diva and Adelina, you guys are the ones stitching with me, right? Yeah. Wait, no, it's Diva and Grace. Diva and Grace, just as long as I haven't lost you yet. Because the next row, we're going to be doing front loops only. Adelina, you're making your list. Yeah, get ready. That list's going to get long real fast. All right, you got it, Grace. Okay, perfect. Deba, if for some reason you need me to slow down again, let me know. Actually, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to go back into the one that we slip stitched into because that is our first stitch. And in the front loops only, we're going to work increases all the way around. Let me double check. Yeah, 8 increases. This will take us to 16 stitches. So grab, this is where we slip stitched. Grab that first one, and you're going to do 2 single crochets into that front loop. Notice I'm not grabbing that back loop. There. So front loop, and you're just doing 2 single crochets into the same stitch. That is what an increase is. I'm going to get rid of that. We don't need to keep sewing that in, and I don't need you guys having to fight seeing where I'm trying to point to. Fuzzy, fuzzy. We don't need that either. And then again into that front loop, 2 singles, and you're going to do that all the way around. Woo woo! Through and 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. I'm going to double check. For some reason my gut's telling me I missed a stitch, but I don't think so. I forgot to put the stitch marker in again, so you guys are seeing that dilemma. Here's our last stitch though. So I'm going to move that. 1 and 2. Should have 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Whew! Alright. Except this is a little bit tight, so just a heads up. That is our slip stitch. This is our chain 1. We're going to slip stitch into that spot. It should be raised a little bit, and you can slip stitch into both loops. Okay, so you should see something that's kind of emulating that top hat that we worked on the turtle last week. It's kind of looking the same. Good. Don't forget to chain 1. And we are ready for row 5. Wait, we single crochet. Nope. Yep, single crochet with that. We just did front loops only. So row 4. Single crochet around, and this will be 16. So let me zoom in so I can read this versus making this so difficult. There we go. I'm not getting older. All right, you're going right back in. Oh my gosh, Jen, mark your last stitch. I'm teaching you guys terrible habits today. There we go. So go back into where you slip stitched. Work your first single crochet. This time I'm going to remember. Let's put in that stitch marker. I don't got time. We're trying to remember what to do. And we're single crocheting all the way around. So 1 in each stitch. This time we are working back in both loops, and we are mostly doing that all the way around. There's a couple areas where we won't, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So just 1 single crochet all the way around. This blue pig is going to be actually kind of cute. Never seen a blue pig before. Reverse psychology, what? The stitch markers, not using them or using them? Don't you love it when you're like, okay, I totally have my stuff together, and then like you don't. We're at the last stitch, so I know it's the last stitch because I actually remembered to mark it. We're putting that one, and I'm going to mark the last stitch again. It might be overkill, I get it, and if you don't need both, don't use them. I'm just trying to think, if you're a beginner and this stuff is overwhelming, I want you prepared for a way to make it simpler. So definitely when you go back into that first stitch where the stitch marker was, do your slip stitch and chain 1. Alright, I think we're moving at a good pace. I hope I haven't lost you guys. I'm going to keep moving, but you flag me down if that's not the case. The next one, we're going to start with an increase and then work a single crochet. And then you're going to do that all the way around. So the first stitch, right back into where we already did our slip stitch, go right back in and work an increase. So again, 2 stitches in the same stitch. Let's mark that first stitch because I have finally learned my lesson. And then the next one, like I said, was a single crochet, so just 1 stitch. And you're going to keep doing that. Increase, single, increase, single. You should end on a single for your last stitch. So just keep doing that all the way around. Adjust each one. I know we got one patriotic pig. What are you making, Grace? What color is your pig? She's like, I'm stitching. Don't talk to me. That was... Oh, now am I making mistakes? That's an increase, single, increase, single, increase. Adelina, how long is your list of stuff that you already are like needing to acquire? Remember, you don't need to get everything overnight. You never need to get everything overnight. Single, pink and green. How many in the row? This will end up being 24. And we are at that last stitch. I'm used to music. I know, it's weird not having music. It's weird. I might have to see if there, I think there's some ways to get copyright free music, even if it's like elevator music or something. You don't have to get everything. You're crazy. Just start with what you have. You have no idea how long I made it off of just a hook and yarn. I didn't have stitch markers. I didn't have any of this stuff when I started, and I made tons of stuff. Alright, don't forget to slip stitch into your first stitch. Slip stitch and chain 1. Okay, we're going to go slow here because this is where we are going to actually create the ears. And we're going to go around. You'll have a front loop, back loop, and then we'll go back into both loops, front loop, back loop, and then back around. So we'll go slow, but let's start with 9 single crochets. I'm just double checking, making sure we did the increase single. Yep, 9 single crochets. So into that same one, put your stitch marker. You're going to be like Shayna. You're going to make everything. And make sure you do 9 single crochets. So just keep going until you have 9, and then we'll pause. You will not complete the row. I'm well aware of that. And hopefully you have your extra stitch markers on hand. So let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, here's what I recommend. Again, I go a little overkill. I've messed this up myself, and I want to make sure if you are a beginner that I'm setting you up for success. So these next 2 stitches, you're going to work in the front loops. Let's ignore my terrible nail polish. I do color street, and I was supposed to do my nails last night. Life happened. Life happened. Anywho, so you're going to put 1 stitch marker on the back loop. Trust me, when you do the next row, it'll make it so much easy. Now make sure you don't split the yarn like I did. So you just want to grab that back loop, and you want to do that for the next 2 stitches. So just grab the stitch markers and mark it so it can be pulled across. I'm going to need 1 more stitch marker. I need to rob my other project real quick. Oh, nope, it's on my bag. Alright, it's on my bag. We are saved. We never run out of stitch markers. Alright. Now for the next 2, we're going to be using that front loop still. So get ready for that. Working in the front loop for the next 2 stitches, you're going to single crochet, half double into the first stitch. So again, front loop only. And then, what bags of yarn I will be saying? Oh goodness, oh goodness. Single crochet, pull up 1, pull up 2, and then a half double. If you knew a half double, it's the exact same thing we've been doing. The only difference is you're going to yarn over before we do it. So yarn over, going into the same stitch, pull up 1. Yes, you have 3 loops on the hook, and then you're going to pull through all of those. It's just a little bit of a taller stitch. Okay, after that, chain 2 and then slip stitch into the second chain. So chain 2. Again, this is also how patterns are read, so hopefully you're getting used to what it sounds like. Then you're going to slip stitch into the second chain. So 1, 2, second chain from hook. Don't split your yarn, Jen. Slip stitch. It's just going to make a little picot, I think they call it. And then into the next stitch, we're working the reverse. So a half double and a single. So yarn over, insert our hook into that front loop, pull up 1, pull up 2, and then into the same stitch, single crochet. Okay, did I lose anyone? Deepa and Grace, that was, I went slow, but I know that was a lot, so let me know. I'm going to hang tight for a second. Don't forget to drink your water. Don't forget to drink your water. Cheers. My dog is panting in the back. Got it? Good, good, good. Okay, so after the ear, 3 single crochets, and then we're doing the ear again. So 3 regular singles. Good, good, good. 3 regular singles. And this ear we can go a little bit faster, but before you go into it, let's mark those stitches, the back loops. My dog is having a field day over here. I don't know what she's doing. Okay, we've looped those back loops. And into this stitch again, you're going to start with single, half. Doggy needs water too. She was passed out. She's got her water. Chain 2, slip stitch in second chain, and then we're moving on to the next stitch where it's a half double, so yarn over, grab that front loop, pull up 1 and then 2, or I'm sorry, pull up 1 and then all 3, and then back into the same stitch, single crochet. You should, let's see, it says, and after that we're doing single crochets across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what's weird is I don't have the right amount of stitches. Something I knew, I think I missed a stitch earlier. We're going to keep going because it's not going to affect this, but mine just might be smaller than yours. And I may not have the stitch count correctly, but I do know what it was when I tested it, so I can still give that to you, and you should still be at 24. But ignore the fact that I will likely have less stitches. So you're going to stitch until, single crochet until you hit your stitch counter. Welcome to Live Dilemmas, when your instructor messes up the pattern, because that never happens. But good news is, I can still show you guys that you're going to be just fine. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I think that happened with the sheep too. I made a boo-boo. Cool. Cool. 8 more was it on yours? I thought it was 9 more. That's what I have written here, but now I'm like seriously wondering, because remember this pattern was kind of written on the fly, so, but it's cool. As long as you go to the end of your stitch marker, mark your last stitch, we'll be good. We'll be good. And then you're going to again slip stitch to that first one, slip stitch, and chain 1. Alright, this next row, we're going to start doing the legs. So I may have to adjust. I'm going to tell you guys what to do. The first 2 stitches, you're going to single crochet. I'm going to do 1 because my stitch count is off. But make sure you're going back into your slip stitch and single crochet. You should do 2. mark that first stitch. I know exactly where I went wrong, and it was way up here. Otherwise, I would just frog it and fix it. But now, the next stitch, so you've done your 2 singles, you're going to do a popcorn stitch. So it's just 6 unfinished double crochets strung together. We did this in the sheep, we did this in a few of our other projects, in the turtle and everything. So yarn over, you're going to, in that stitch, I'm going to back up just because I don't like where it's landing on my guy because I'm off on stitches, but you guys you're going to do this where you're at. Okay. Yarn over, insert the hook, pull up 1, looks like you're doing a double, pull up 2, looks like you're doing a double. Don't finish it though. Yarn over again, go back in, pull up 1, pull up 2, and you're going to keep doing that until you have 7 loops on the hook. Da, 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 da. I'm going to obviously have to improvise a lot. That stinks. Welcome to the reality. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you'll yarn over and pull through all of those loops on the hook. Put pressure on your thumb. It helps you get through those smoothly without issues. I'm going to mark that stitch because that is now my first stitch, but you guys will obviously not. After your popcorn stitch, you're going to... Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, hold on. I just realized you're not going to be on this side. You're actually on this side. Dummy. Okay, let me go back and do it the way you guys did it. 2 singles. 1, 2. Welcome to this. Welcome to my brain, guys. It's a scary place. If I put the foot here, that might be kind of off. I'll add here. So let me catch up and do the popcorn, and I'll be right there with you guys. We'll do the popcorn right here. So now you should have something where the first foot is kind of lining up to the left right here. Da 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 da. And then you're going to do single crochets all the way to the ear. It says in the pattern you should be doing 6. And that should take you to the ear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But let me see if that's working on my end because I clearly messed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for me, I'll do 5, but you guys should be doing 6. Two, 3, 4, 5. So then you should be right by the ear. Let me know if you guys are there. I know that went crazy. Hey there, Mary. How are you? Mrs. Diamond. This is his left leg, yes. Because when we get around here, we'll do his next leg right here. I messed that up. That was my bad. Did I lose you guys? You should have the popcorn and then 6, and you should be ready to crochet into the ear. Are we good? 6 works. Perfect. That's what I have written down, and I made like 2 before we did this live, so just go figure when we're live I would mess up. Okay, this is where marking those back stitches is going to be your saving grace. So now you're going to do single crochet into those. If you used a stitch marker like this, you can literally pull that loop away and put it right over your hook. Then you can take that stitch marker out and work your single crochet. So you're going to do 1 there, and then you're going to do the same thing in that second stitch. Use your stitch marker to get that loop nice and loose. That's why we used it. You're welcome. And then going here. Yes, keep watching the weather, Mrs. Dutman. I know you're watching a crazy storm. Okay, and then we're going to go back into stitching our 3 singles that split up the ear. So you're going to go right into... If you'll notice, if you're having trouble seeing it, you'll see the half double here. It's a little bit of a taller stitch. You'll see the single here. That's still part of the ear. There's 2 stitches in 1. You already crocheted behind here, so ignore that one. Boom. Right here is your first single crochet. You are going to have to kind of reach to get it, but grab both loops and work your 3 single crochets across. Boom. We're going to do singles back here again. So insert your hook. You can take out your stitch marker now. Use the hook to help you find that back loop. And single crochet. Do it again. Take out that stitch marker. Those can be set aside. You won't need those again. That just helps you get through that part. Actually, you might need it for the tail, but I'll show you. And then again, you're looking for where the center of that ear is. 1, 2 stitches. Your first single crochet, you want to ignore that. You want it to go right there. So you're going to reach over and grab your first single. And you should have, after that, after you've done your second ear, and work back loops, yeah, another 6 single crochets before we do our last popcorn stitch. So that's what you guys are going to be doing. Keep in mind, I messed up, so I'm going to improvise, but do 6 single crochets. I think I'm going to do my popcorn right here. This one's going to be a debacle, but it's fine. It's fine. He can be my special pig. And then when you're ready, we're going to work that popcorn stitch again. Don't worry about the fact that I removed a stitch marker that you're not in. You won't be there yet. You'll have one more stitch after this before you hit your stitch marker. This will be your second to last stitch is what I meant to say. So work your popcorn stitch. If you remember, that's your 6 unfinished double crochets. So you'll end up with 7 loops on the hook. I'm going to add a stitch here just so I can... No, don't do that, Jen. I was going to try to make it easier. 4, 5, 6, 7, and yarn over and pull through all of them. Your last stitch should be a single crochet. I'm double checking. It's popcorn stitch and 1 single. So you should have 1 more stitch. Go ahead and single crochet. Okay? I'm not going to do it because I am off on stitch counts. I am going to do it. We're going to add it. We're going to add it. I'm going to do it. We're going to add it. It's cool. I'm already improvising. We're improvising. And don't forget to mark your last stitch. So you've singled after the popcorn. You should still have 24 stitches around when you count. Jen has 23, I think. But we're going to see how that goes. And then go ahead and slip stitch to the beginning, as we have been doing, and chain 1. Okay, the next couple rounds get really easy because for the next 3 rounds we're going to single crochet around. So go ahead and do a single, mark your first stitch, and keep going. So single all the way around. The popcorn can feel a little weird sometimes. Find those 2, they kind of blend in with the ones below it. If you accidentally grab an extra strand or 2, it's not going to be the end of the world, I promise. But there you go, and keep going. This is what's going to really make that finish popping out. And then again, you'll have 24 stitches. See how that ear is now sticking up right there? Hopefully that, now that you did the 2 stitches behind it, it even tightened it more. So it's probably poking out really well, which is what you want for that ear. It creates a really good shape. Gotta love it. And then you got 2 more rows, so we're getting close to it. My yarn is squeaking! Does that bug anyone else? It doesn't really kill me. It doesn't like... Boom, I just crocheted into that last stitch. I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to mark the last stitch I just did. And then we're going to slip stitch, chain 1. Again, we're doing a row of single crochets. Marking the first stitch, and we're going to town. going to town. Oh, what I should do is we should do the eyes now that we're here. Because I will forget. I will always forget. So after this row, I'll do the rest of the single crochet rows. So after next row, we'll do the eyes, and we'll sew the little part of the nose. But I know sometimes you guys start, when you get to these easier parts, you usually fly past me. So feel free to do the eyes and the nose, and you might even want to start stuffing it. I like to wait to stuff it because I feel like the stuffing gets in the way. So it is your preference. Some people like to stuff it along the way because then they feel like they can get it into all the nooks and crannies of the stuffy. So there's options. There's options and ideas and whys. There's our last stitch. We're going to mark it. And now we are slip stitching to the beginning again, followed by a chain 1. Boom. And we're doing our last row of single crochets. And then we'll pause and do our eyes. Grace and Diva, are you guys getting it? I know that I kind of gave you guys a run for your money on that one. I'm sorry. Haven't butchered a project that bad during class before. I owe you. I owe you. So far, still bright outside. All right, Mrs. Duckman. She's fighting a tornado watch or warning, or I don't know which one it is, because I know they have different levels. You're caught up? Perfect. Are you doing your eyes? Alright, we're hitting that last one. We're going to pause here and we're going to do our safety eyes and our nose. So grab a small piece of black yarn and your yarn needle. Let's do the nose first. Doesn't need to be crazy. Like I said, I'm not doing anything too insane. We just need to make those two little loop-de-doopies. Yes, this is technical. Technical terms. Thread your needle. I always start in the back. I just feel like I can predict what's going on more. I'm trying to find the spot that's kind of right about there. I want it to be on the upper left section. You're going to go up. Don't pull all the way through. And go down right about there. Play around with your placement because you want it to look good. There's times where I have to kind of like back out and adjust just because it looked good in my head, but when I pulled it through, it like did something weird. Sometimes yarn will shift or whatever, so if you have to play around with where you're at, that's okay. You're going to come back up again. His poor nostril. Don't pull it through. Remember, you have a loose strand in there. And then we're going to put that last one like right about there. And then let's make sure it looks okay. Uh-oh. Well, I hope so because I just undid my needle. There we go. Perfect. So now you should have those two kind of like that. Go ahead and pull you can tie them together. They're close enough where we're just going to literally tie it like a shoe. And I'll do a double knot. So you don't want to pull it too tight. Doesn't need to be crazy. All it is trying to keep it there. If you pull too tight, you're going to start changing that. So just pull it till it goes to the back. And great news with the amigurumi, we can just stuff that in there. Yes, we can. Boom. Got yourself a nose. Now let's do the eyes. If you're new to safety eyes, they're fun. They're fun. They totally change the project and make it like come to life. I can't emphasize that enough. I'm missing the backs. Where are the backs to these? Right here. These are going to go in there. Alright, so you've got your safety eyes, and they come with little back circles. If you've never used these before, they're very simple. They're not expensive. I recommend it. I've got some links on my link tree. Jessica, I don't feel like you need to get it now. Or wait, no, was that Alina? I don't remember. But yes, this is something you're just going to want to kind of place it below the ears, close to the nose. Yes, close to the nose. So play around with it. Sometimes moving the eyes can change the personality of the item that you're making. Sometimes it can be fun to put them closer together. I am like between this row and that row, if you want to see. I'm like in between those, and play around with it. Like I would have also played around with this stitch and maybe that one and seen which one I liked better, but I can already tell you I like this one better. Make sure they're even. Kind of, if your yarn is a little bit softer, kind of play around with this, because once you get stuffing in it, it's going to change how everything sits. So try to pretend it's stuffed. And then, if you want to pull these out to make it easy, you can, but just keep your fingers on it so that you don't lose your place. These just go over that. You push them until they snap, and they will stay. That goes over that, and it'll snap. Boom. Turn it back, and boom, voila, we have ourselves a face. Yes, yes, I do like the eyes. You can sew them. You can sew, you can just do what we did here and sew on. I forget what stitch it was, but you like wrap it around a lot, sew through the center of it, and pull it down. So if you don't have it, you're good. Alright, we are on row 11. You're going to do 3 single crochets and then your first popcorn stitch. I did not slip stitch yet to the beginning. Did I? No. So I'm going to do that first. So mark my last stitch, slip stitch to the first one, and chain 1. Boom, chain 1. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do an extra one because my stitches are off, but you're going to want to go back into that same stitch, and you're going to do 3 single crochets followed by a popcorn. And again, you are starting on that other leg. So 3, I'm going to do a 4th one. Ignore me. Don't look, don't look, don't look. It's not happening. Okay, we did 3. A French knot. Yes, Mrs. Dutman. I knew someone in there would have the answer. All right, now you're doing that popcorn. So again, yarn over. Do like almost like a double crochet, but don't finish it. Don't finish it. Do that again until you have 7 loops on the hook. A French knot. I need to actually practice one of those. I've never done it. I've seen it done. 4, 5, 6. Do one more. And there's our 7th loop. And now you're going to yarn over, pull through them all. Okay, after this, you should have 18 single crochets. And then you'll do another popcorn. So count 18. That should take you all the way around the back of him. So I don't know how many I'm going to do because we've established, once again, my stitch count's off. I need to try this guy with plushy yarn. It will look cute. And I'll bet you it would be larger. A lot larger. Alright. Once you get there, do your popcorn stitch. You should have one more stitch after your popcorn stitch. I do not, because I boo-booed. But I'm going to do my popcorn stitch right here. And again, just 6 unfinished double crochets. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Boom. Pull through all. And then to finish it, you should have 1 single crochet. And just to match you guys, I'm going to go ahead and force one in there. even though I've already worked my last stitch. So 1 single crochet. He's just going to be a fat pig. It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to mark my last stitch, slip stitch to the first one. He's carrying a little holiday weight, you know? And slip stitch to that first one. And chain 1. Alright. We're almost done! We still need to add the tail and everything though. So give me a second here. Let's see. Single crochet, popcorn, 18, popcorn, single. Now we're going to do the row 12. You should still have 24 stitches. That part hasn't changed. So row 12, 14 single crochets. So go ahead and do your 14 single crochets. I'm going to mark that first one. It should put you somewhere in the middle of the back, because this is where we're going to do the same technique we did for the ears, but we're going to make the tail now. I don't know if I've adjusted enough where it'll be 14, so we're going to see when I get there, but 14 should take you to the center of Little Piggy's back. Let's see what it did for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, alright. That'll put, we're gonna do 13 for Jen. Jen's gonna do 13. So hopefully you did 14. Oh wait, then we're chaining 6, then we're single crocheting. Okay, no, this one's easy. So yeah, never mind. I'm doing the 14. I'm with you guys now. Yay. Alright, so you did your 14. And now you're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let me know when you guys are there. I want to make sure you guys are good. That was a really good segue for a water break. Let me make sure one of you is good. You're there. Perfect. This, we're going to start in the second chain from the loop, or from the hook. So skip your first one, and you're going to do 3 single crochets in that one, and you're going to keep doing three single crochets in each stitch across. It's going to force the tail to start curling like this. So 3 single crochets into that second chain. 1, 2, and 3, and then you're going to go into the next one and do 3 more. 2, 3, and continue. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Here's our last one right here. 1, 2, and 3. Should have yourself a little tail. And then, in the second chain from each next 4 stitches. Yep. And then 10 single crochets around the rest of that row. So this is where you just make sure where were you lost at? You were in that one. Don't work that one again. You already have a stitch going there, so you're going to go into this one. And you should have 10 left. So single, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm still off on stitch counts, but you should have 24. Obviously, this is not a stitch because it's in between 2 stitches. But just keep going until you should be going over the popcorn, and your last one should be just after that popcorn. Boom. Okay? Go ahead and do your slip stitch and chain 1. And then we're going to begin row 13. After that, we only have 2 more. There's a total of 15 rows. Total of 15. Slip stitch, chain 1. This one is going to be decrease, single, decrease, single. I recommend the invisible decrease. There are 2 ways. You can do a simple one where you're doing this, and joining. That is okay. But I will tell you, your project will look a lot more clean if you do an invisible decrease. There'll be less gaps in your in the back end of your pig. To do that, grab the front loop. No yarn overs. You're not looping anything yet. You're just wrapping back over and grabbing the front loop of that one. And then you're going to pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Don't forget that is your first stitch. So go ahead and mark it. And then you're going to, again, alternate. So this one's going to be a single crochet. Back to another decrease. I'm going to do the invisible style. And pull through all 3. And then single crochet. And you're going to keep doing that all the way around. This should take you to 16 stitches in the round. Invisible decrease, single crochet. Now when you get to this part, it gets a little tricky because you want to go behind the tail. I'll show you. Here we go with your invisible decrease. There we go. That used the last part, so go behind the tail. Make sure you're grabbing the loops that coordinate with your single crochet. So here's your single crochet. It's the B, as we like to say. This is still live, Haley. This is still live. You're such a dork. You set me up on the big screen. Oh, goodness, Adelina. That's awesome. That's crazy. So this is the V. This is where your stitch is going to go for that next one. Okay? So make sure you go behind the tail, but grab those 2 loops. And if the tail's in the way, just keep going, just fish it out, and single crochet. And then that should clean up. Boom. And you're going to keep going. Oops, that was supposed to be a decrease. My bad. Remember, we're decrease, single. So we just did our single. We're back to a decrease. And a single. It's live. Yes, it's live. She knew it was live. She was testing us all. Hello, Haley. And a single. And I believe if you have your stitch count correctly and you're not like I am, your last stitch should be a single crochet. Unfortunately, Jen is special. I'm just making sure if I wasn't. No, you're live. You are live. Coming to you live from Jenetics Creation Studio. Alright, mark your last stitch. Go ahead and slip stitch chain 1 again. This might be a good time for us to go ahead and stuff if you haven't yet. So slip stitch, chain 1. I'm going to pull that out a little bit just so I can start stuffing my pig. We need to stuff it. And stuff it real good. You feel like an idiot? You were testing me. I know you were, Haley. I know you were. I know it. You're not an idiot. Stop. Kidding me? I'm teaching a lesson that I already messed up. Who's the idiot now? Happens to the best of us. Everyone's allowed a brain fart or 2 a day. Or in my case, maybe 10. Alright, bye, Haley. Love you tons. Okay, we stuffed it. And we stuffed it real good. Yeah, stuff it. Hee hee. Stuff it. Alright. Now, tighten that back up. That's what she said. I know, get your mind out of the gutter, guys. Okay. You were at 16, so row 14 is going to be a single crochet. and then a decrease. And this will take you to 11 stitches. So single crochet in that first stitch. Place your stitch marker. And then decrease. Remember, front loop only. Front loop only. It's a little hard, I know. And then pull through all 3 loops. This one's a single crochet. Don't grab the stuffing, so keep using your finger to push it down. These last 2 rows can get really hard to navigate because you have to hold your hook in a different way, and you kind of have to like push things down and stuff, and yeah, and you got like this whole like tail and stuff in the way, so just be patient, go slow. This one's a single. Here's our decrease. Here's another single. And here's our decrease. That is what she said, Diva. That is what she said. We've already, like, ruined this life. No, I did. Couldn't even count stitches today, Jen. This one's gonna be a pain in the butt. I can feel it fighting me. There we go. And you guys should be ending on a decrease with 11 stitches. Alright, if there's any more stuffing you feel you need to do, you're going to kind of want to keep doing it now. Otherwise, this last row is going to make it very tight, and you're not going to be able to do what you need to do. I don't know how else to put it. I'm sorry for all of you gutter minds out there, but it's cool. It's cool. There's only so many ways to word this stuff. Okay, so slip stitch and chain 1 again, and then you're going to do a row of decreases all the way around. I'm not going to worry about marking that first stitch because I already know where my last stitch is going to be. So decrease, followed by another decrease. And you might end up with 1 stitch extra if you do, just do a single crochet, because I have that written in the pattern. So I'm guessing you end up with 1 extra remaining stitch. Just do a single crochet in that if that's the case. If not, at this point, you're good. You're good. You're going to fasten off. There's my last stitch. I'm doing just a basic single. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the next one to fasten off. So I slip stitch, and you don't need a long tail because you're just going to close the circle and then hide it. So don't go crazy. We're not sewing anything. But grab your yarn needle. And when I close my circle, I prefer going in front loops. No gutter minds here. Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. Some people will grab both loops. I feel like in some cases, not all cases, in some cases, it can actually make the project have gaps or have more of a point. I don't know. I'm still learning a lot of amigurumi techniques, but lately I have really liked just grabbing the front loops. This is called a whip stitch. You're just going at it from the same angle and you're hitting every stitch around. And when you get back to the beginning, I like to grab the first one that I still have there. It just helps finalize it. And then you're going to pull everything tight. If you have plushy yarn, I'm sorry, you're going to want to be very careful with this and kind of tighten it as you go. Plushy yarn does like to snap. That's why I prefer to do things with acrylic, especially if I'm learning it for the first time. I'm going to tie a knot. So I find one of the tighter stitches that I can find down below. I pull it through, but not all the way. I'm going to go back through it. Pull that tight. I like to try to go back through the center of this as I go to hide my yarn. I go back into the center that we pulled tight, because what it'll help me do is if there is a little dimple there, it'll help me kind of apply a little bit of tightness there to kind of round out the booty, if you will. And then just finish hiding your yarn, once it's there, it's secure. It's not going anywhere. Cut it. And you have yourself a widow piggy. Does everyone have something that looks kind of like that? Woo woo! Did we do it? Did we do it? I need to see the patriotic pig. You have to. Oh, goodness, Garnet, you and the shark. Yes. Yes, Grace. Oh, I'm glad. I'm so glad. Okay, well, congrats. Now, wash, rinse, repeat, and make a million more. And let's just have plushy pigs take over the world. Yay! I'm so glad. Isn't it fun when you make something and you're like, look how cute it is, and it's in my hand, and it's amazing. Name your pig. Name your pig. I don't know. Mine can be Porco. Name your pig. And that is it. Great. I know. So everyone, tag me if you guys make stuff. Tag me. Tag me. Tag me. Tag me. I want to see what you were able to overcome. Yes, Garnet, you're such a nerd. Such a nerd. What is that? Oh, it's a kitty cat. It's a kitty cat. Perfect. I'm sorry it was a little rocky. Clearly I couldn't count today, but I have all of the stitches in there and the stitch count, so clearly you were able to keep going. And the good news is if you make boo-boos, at least you kind of know how to navigate them. So if you watch this for replay, I so apologize you weren't here, but ask questions in the comments. I do respond to all of the comments that we get, so definitely ask away. I will help you out any way I can. And I will definitely get this on like a video or something and post like a short video. I'll try to see if I can like create it. You're naming it Sam. Scrapple McPorker. Nice. There we go. Okay. Okay. McPorker. That's terrible. That's also really like odd. Greetings from the Netherlands. Oh, hi. Ellie, welcome. Well, this will be available for replay. So if you crochet and you want to learn it, definitely save this link because all of my lives are available for replay, and we've made several different things. I know some people are requesting this. I might be able to do this. Again, these are free patterns that I found. This one I had to write myself, so I don't have the link for the pattern on this one, but if you rewatch the video, you'll be able to make your own. You'll be able to make your own. Alright guys, I am going to take a break, and then you will see me back on TikTok. So if you guys are on that platform, feel free to join me there. We're going to crochet some more. We're going to finish my chameleon that's over here, and we're going to definitely start a circle vest. Otherwise, if you are just strictly a YouTuber, I will be back next week, same time, same place. So Thursday, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, we teach a live class. I don't know what 100% we're making yet. Next week, but I will definitely keep it updated. It's already scheduled, so you guys can go ahead, hit that notification and the notify me buttons and all that. If you guys have anything you want to learn, let me know. Hit me up. I like to try to incorporate your guys' thoughts and desires into what we do around here. But definitely subscribe. Join us for the live class. Join us for the live fun on TikTok. And I think that covers everything. I'll see you next week, Thursday, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Keep stitching, guys. Good job, ladies. Good job. Yes, I'll see you in a bit. Absolutely.